Remember, don't settle for the first shape you make. Always experiment and try other shapes. For example, here I've created a simple ellipse shape with rounded edges. We will now try to add a screen to this shape. The screen, of course, can be any shape you want. I will simply make a circular screen in the middle of the ellipse shape. The common mistake when making a new feature onto another surface on a shape is that you forget to make a new sketch on that face. First of all, select the face tool and select the face that you want to make the new sketch onto. For example, on this one we shall draw a sketch, a circle, for our screen onto that surface. So we have selected the face, then go to work plane and new sketch. Always remember to do this. This is where people commonly go wrong. Give the new sketch a name, screen, and click OK. We can now draw directly onto this new surface. Click on the View on the Work Plane tool, select the Circle tool and draw in the center of the ellipse. I have drawn a diagonal in the first place to create this ellipse, so this helps us to find the center. So I've drawn a circle of a diameter of 30 as shown. Use the arrow keys or the scroll wheel on your mouse and flip the shape backwards so you can see that the sketch is actually drawn on the top surface. At this point, if the green update button appears, this means that you have drawn your sketch on the wrong surface. Now we shall make a screen by simply extruding this circle out from the surface a small distance. So Feature, Extrude Profile, make sure the sketch to use as profile is screen, then enter a small distance of 0.5 of a millimeter. You want again to add material and above work plane. You can also create screens by subtracting material and going below the work plane, which I will show you later. Click OK, and you now have a new raised surface. A useful tool to learn to use in Pro Desktop is the Deform tool. Select the top face of the circle you have just created. Make sure it is colored red. Then go to Feature, Modify Solids and Deform Face. Enter a height, perhaps 3, and click OK. By tilting it back, you will now see that the flat surface has now become raised in a dome-like shape. This can be a useful effect. As well, if we use the scroll wheel to scroll into the edge of the screen, we could round off the edge as well. So select the Edge tool and select the edge that goes around the screen and go to Feature, Round Edges. Be careful here not to put in too big a value. It cannot be any bigger than 0.5. This was the original depth of the extrusion. Click OK. The Deform tool could also be used for buttons, but it will only work on regular shapes like circles and squares. Now I will show you another way of making a screen where you extrude it into the material of the body and subtract it from the actual shape. We need to delete the screen we have just made. So on the left hand side in the browser menu, select the extrusion that was the screen. Right click and delete it. It will say 2 dependent operations were also deleted. These are the deform and the round which you made after this extrusion. Click OK. You will see that it doesn't disappear instantly, but the green update button appears. Click this and you will see that your extrusions for the screen disappear. If you now click on the select line tool, you will see that the circle which you originally used is still present. Click on it so it turns red. Now go back to Feature, Extrude Profile. This time we shall subtract material. We shall go below the work plane, again a small value of 0.5. Click OK and you shall now see that the screen appears slightly below the surface of the body. Again, this is down to your own artistic preferences. Again, if you find that you do not like the shape of the screen, the circle, you can easily change this as well. Right click and delete the extrusion. Then in the same browser drop down menu, go to work planes and you will see that work plane 1 is selected. Click on the plus sign beside it and you will see the sketch screen appear. Select it and click on the X, which is delete, at the top of the screen. Update again. This time the sketch has disappeared and the extrusion. We can always now draw another shape or sketch for your screen onto this shape. Click on the View on the Work Plane tool and again use the ellipse tool and draw out a new shape for your screen, this time an ellipse. Double check it is on the correct surface and that it is filled. Then again, Feature Extrude. I shall extrude it above the surface this time. Again, 0.5. And again, I shall select the top surface and deform this into a dome shape. So Feature, Modify Solids, Deform Face, and enter a value of 3. Click OK. And it has now created a dome-like screen shape on top. The next step is to add buttons.